with every NBA team playing at least a handful of games, I feel like now it's an okay to kind of go over what's been happening in the NBA so far. Thank you everybody for tuning back into Big Red Weekly. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 250 subscribers by the end of the year, so your subscription would definitely be appreciated. So, a lot of different things have been going on in the NBA. Some teams are playing really well, like the Chicago Bulls. Some players aren't playing that well. So let's just talk about what's been going on in the NBA. So obviously, I already mentioned that Chicago's is still undefeated. They are, still obviously with a 4-game stretch, and even a couple of those teams not even being that great. But the Bulls, is for a new team, adding DeRozan and, oh my goodness, it's going to kill me. Even Vucevic, they got like halfway through the season, or like 3/4 of the way through last season. And then who else did they just add? And then Lonzo. Obviously, all these pieces together, Caruso, they're starting to fit really well. Now again, they've played some questionable teams, but I like what I've been seeing, and even their other game. Who did they play? I don't know. Was it the Pistons or who? I don't know. It was just yesterday, I think, or the day before. I don't really remember. Lots of games going on every single day, and I'm not able to catch all of them just because I still work a 9 to 5, or technically it's 8 to 5. So I don't get to watch as many NBA games as I could, and they're all really late. So by the time they start, I kind of don't feel like doing a whole lot, and even then, I can only watch one. So, but the Bulls have been playing really well. I need to catch one of their games. The other day, they shot pretty terribly overall. Like Lonzo shot like sub 45%. Zach LaVine shot like sub 40%. DeRozan was like sub 45%. Like all these guys actually shot like pretty bad. And Vucevic has been playing super bad. He just hasn't been shooting the ball that well. So again, these guys are NBA players, especially all these great shooters. Again, Damian Lillard's another one. He's been having a shooting slump. These guys are great shooters, so I'm not too worried about them not shooting the ball well, because all players go through that. Steph Curry will, have a night where he goes 2 of 13 or, something ridiculous. And I know Damian Lillard's he's shooting overall for the season, 2 of like 24, 2 of 25, somewhere in that range. So these guys are going to get it back together. There's no reason to think that they're not. But Bulls, I'm excited. I really need to go over, because I'm not too far from Chicago, so I should try and see about running over and watching a game over there. That'd be great. And I think tickets are pretty cheap. I don't know about for Chicago. Since they got better, I'm sure that the tickets probably got a little bit more expensive. It's just like with Phoenix. I purchased a half-season ticket like a couple years ago. All of a sudden they jumped up as soon as Phoenix started being really good. So we're also seeing like we have some big-time sprouters right now. Ja Morant being a big one. He's averaging 35 points a game right now, which, again, over 4 games is not really a huge margin. Obviously, that's probably going to come down to earth. But I could still see him averaging 30 to 32. It's not out of question to think that he could, and he's been playing amazing. He's been shooting the ball pretty well, but obviously taking last year into consideration, if that becomes consistent, man, he could be an MVP candidate. Probably not this year, maybe, but he could definitely be in it. Be in that conversation later on down the road here in a couple of years. Because the Grizzlies kind of have to get better too. If the Grizzlies are kind of hanging around anywhere at least the 5 spot or lower, he's probably not going to get consideration because of that. We even saw last season, Donovan Mitchell wasn't not technically, he wasn't in the conversation for MVP, even though he was the best player on the best team, because the Jazz were the number 1 seed in the West last year, and I think their record beat Philly, who was the number 1 seed in the East, by at least 5 or 6 games, I think. I don't know for sure, but the Jazz record was definitely better. I think the Jazz had the best record in the league. So, and Donovan Mitchell was averaging like 25, 5 and 5, give or take. So, and on pretty decent efficiency too. I mean, he was shooting like third. Again, I don't want to get into too many numbers because I don't memorize all of these. I want to say, I mean, he was efficient. I'll just leave it at that. So, I mean, if you're going to be efficient and be the best player on the best team, I don't see John Morant getting into the MVP conversation until Grizzlies, again, at least get into the 5th seed, especially if he's putting up numbers like that. But who was the other big one? Tyler Hero. So this one's really funny because obviously he had that interview just a couple weeks before the regular season started, saying that he was in the same conversation as Trae Young, Luka Doncic, guys like that who are getting paid these max, not only getting paid these max dollars, but are also, you know, have the skill to back it up. I was one of those people. I actually quoted the stupid interview and said, psych, because that's just what I thought. I did not expect Tyler Hero to come out averaging like 27 points a game right now. I think he's right around there because I think he's over 25. But, I mean, he's had some great nights. Just the other night, they lost. Miami lost. Who'd they lose to? Ooh, this is gonna hurt me. I don't remember who they lost to. But Tyler Hero had like 20. I think he had 27. No, he had 30. He had like 30 or something like that. And the Heat only had like 91 or 92 points. So he had a third of the team's whole points. So he's been going off. If he continues it up, I don't see him continuing to average 27, but could he average 20 plus this season? I see no reason why not. If he keeps up this play, there's no telling what he could average. Something's been up with these young guys as well. LaMelo, I should talk about the Hornets real quick. The Hornets, they've only lost one game so far, I think. I'm checking on that right now. Yes, they are 3-1. And who did they lose to? Because they just lost the other night, I think. But doesn't matter. LaMelo and Miles have been going stupid. LaMelo's averaging like 22, 7 and 7. I want to, you know, again, give or take somewhere right in there. He's been doing it on great efficiency. Even his 3-point percentage, which obviously was always the big question for him, whether or not his shot was going to translate. Because I think passing ability is always going to translate no matter what. If you've got court vision, if you've got amazing vision like that, that can translate to all over. But the shooting, that was going to be the biggest thing. And he's shooting efficiently for right now. And I think even last year I don't think he was like overly efficient, but I think he was at least shooting like 36, 37%. Again, don't quote me on it too much, but I think he was right in there. He's shooting like 38 or 39%, I think, right now, which is technically elite. But again, I don't think he's going to hit, just obviously with his unconventional shot, I don't see him holding that. But again, I could see it. I mean, even if he stays at a 30% 3-point shooting, he's going to be fine. That's still a guy that you got to absolutely contest when they're putting up that shot. So Miles Bridges has been going dumb. He's been averaging like 30 or like 28 or 29, somewhere in that range. And his 3-point percentage, again, is kind of lacking. I think that was hanging around 35%, but everything else has been great. LaMelo's field goal was like 50%. I think Miles is pretty similar. I think either like 50 or like 49%, something really similar. These guys have been playing absolutely insane, and their chemistry is so fun. It's always great to see an athletic dude get paired up with a guy who loves to pass the ball and is a great passer. It's just a match made in heaven. It's like when D-Wade and LeBron got together. It's like maybe their overall fit didn't work together, which I'm not saying that's the case for LaMelo and Miles, but man, Wade knew how to throw it up, and LeBron knew how to go get it. So it's great to have guys, and it's always fun to see. And I think Hornets fans, I don't know how well the Hornets are really going to do. I could see them being anywhere from like the 5th to the 8th seed. I could see it, but I could also see like 4 or 5 other teams doing that as well. And that's the other thing about the Eastern Conference right now is it's super balanced right now, and I don't know what to do about it because it's so hard to rank some of these guys, or not some of these guys, but some of these teams because of how, just because of how incredibly balanced everyone is. Any team could really go off, or if another team has an injury, another team could easily take its place and just, and go on a win streak. Anthony Edwards is another dude. He's been playing. I love Anthony Edwards. Anytime he has an interview, I have to listen to it. That dude is funny. But he's been playing. He's stupid. I wish I had like 2/3 of his athleticism, because I thought I was decently athletic back in the day, but that man is just, he really does. I know there's been a lot of comparisons to Michael Jordan. He does kind of low-key look like Michael Jordan, and I feel like the way that he can kind of go up is pretty similar to how MJ could go up. But that's not to say that they couldn't have similar athleticism, but it's just crazy to think that, because I think he had the quote, he's like, man, if I was 6'6", I'd literally be Michael Jordan. He low-key, I mean, I'm not saying he would be as great as Michael Jordan, but he got a lot of skill, and I'm really anxious to see where his career ends up taking him, because that dude is so fun to watch. If those three can get it together, Edwards, D'Lo, and Cat, along with the rest of those guys, ooh, that's a nice team. But I just, with how pathetic Minnesota always is, it's kind of hard to really have a lot of hope for them. We'll just mention a couple other things real quick. Golden State, again, that's the other team that has not lost a game yet. I can't believe I haven't mentioned them yet. They are also 4-0. Steph Curry's been Steph Curry. I think he's pretty much just been solidifying why he's easily a top 5 player in the league, but you can kind of throw it up in the air about where in the top 5 he lands. But he's been playing absolutely insane, and he's just defining why he's also the greatest shooter that this game has really ever seen. Lakers have been playing okay. They're 2-2, but Russell Westbrook had the big game, I think, last night, where it was like he had 33 and 10. Not efficient from 3, but I mean, he's been playing insane. So I was listening to Undisputed, because I like to hear Skip hate, because it I don't know, it confuses me of how he still even has a job if he hates, and a lot of his takes are just flat out just wrong, I think. But I was watching, and Shannon was really saying that, you know, we need to see Russ do it with LeBron and AD on the floor. I absolutely agree. But this is really why you have Russell Westbrook. This is the exact reason why. If LeBron's out, Russell Westbrook could absolutely will you to a team. Now, Anthony Davis played really well, and it was kind of scary that he kind of got injured later in the game. But he played really well, but that's why you got Russ. And now if AD goes out and LeBron comes in, you got Russ and LeBron. So this is exactly why, but those three definitely need to get a lot more playing time, because Russ should always have anywhere from 20 to 25. AD should have anywhere from 25 to 30, and LeBron should have anywhere from 20 to 25 on any given night. And they gotta figure something, and they gotta figure that out. I don't know how to do it, because I'm not an NBA coach. I'm not Frank Vogel, but he gotta figure it out, because this team could be an all-time great team, but it could also give you a lot of remnants of that of the Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant Lakers team for like 2 years, however long it lasted, and even then, we all know how that ended up. So that could just be that Lakers team 2.0. I don't know, but this team's potential is just insane. It really is kind of on the same scale as that Brooklyn Big Three, if they can find out a suitable way for them to all play together. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I don't want this video to be too insanely long, and I feel like it already kind of is, so I'm sorry, but this was the first recap. Again, I can only watch one game a day, at most, really, realistically, so I'm not going to be able to go into full length analysis. That's why I'm not posting every day, or else if I had the time to watch multiple games every day, I would definitely try and post every day doing little recaps of everything, but I simply can't, and so that's why I'm only be posting, you know, these every so often. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Leave a like on the video. It really does mean a lot. Subscribe for more basketball content, and I will see you all next time. Peace!